This is Debra Arko Novotny. I'm a licensed healthcare practitioner and a health coach, and I want to welcome you to Enhanced Living Today, where we talk about looking younger, feeling more vibrant, and living longer. Your way, your terms. Let's get going. Today we're going to be talking about dealing with menopause. Now, before you decide this is not about you, if you're a woman and you're 35 years old or older, it's all about you. It's about the things that you can do so that menopause is actually something very easy. We have to start looking at the fact our body begins to change somewhere between 35 and 42. 43 at most. So what are those changes? What do they look like? And what can we do about them so that we can have that life I keep talking about, that I have, where I feel vibrant. I look younger than my age, and I know I'm going to live long, that I have that longevity. And I know you're here because these are the things that motivate you too. So what can you do at home as you move in to peri-menopause? That's the state before menopause, and we're going to talk more about it in just a little bit. But first, let's talk about what menopause is, because everybody sees it as something different. Technically, menopause is that time when your body quits having a period. You don't have one for 12 months. Let's say you go 8 months without a period and you have one. You're not menopausal. You haven't even gotten there yet. And that's known as natural menopause because it happens naturally. Then there's another type that affects a lot of women in their 30s and 40s, and it is surgical menopause. It's when you have a hysterectomy. You may have endometriosis or something else that occurred, and you've had a hysterectomy, and now your body goes into a forced kind of menopause. There are other types of forced menopause as well. When we take birth control pills or Depo-Vera, anything that ceases our periods or controls it or changes it can actually create menopausal-like symptoms for us. So, question to ask yourself, are you starting menopause? I mean, really, at 35 years of age or 40? Actually, no. You're starting what we all talk about, peri-menopause. It's that time when a lot of women go to their doctor and they say, I have no energy. I feel crappy. I'm gaining weight and I'm moody. In fact, we often think it's PMS, and it's really this peri-menopause. It's our body's hormones changing, and these are the symptoms. We're familiar with some of these, like hot flashes and vaginal dryness, and we think of those for old women, for women that are in menopause. Actually, they affect women as they go into peri-menopause throughout that time, and yes, after you've passed through that state we call menopause. The biggest reason people come in and talk to me is because they went to their doctor and they said, hey, I have no energy. I'm not sleeping well at night, and look, I've gained some weight. And they point at their backside. Or tell their doctor they've, gained 2 pant sizes or something. And the doctor wants to put them on thyroid medicine or a depressive medicine. And they don't really want to do drugs. So they search out a functional medicine practitioner, that'd be me, who's a health coach as well. And they say, can I do this naturally? How do I do this on my own? And I think I could treat this on my own, because you know what? You're pretty smart when you do that. Our thyroid may look sluggish. We may have symptoms of being a little depressed or not up to par with the energy and enthusiasm for life that we used to have. But none of that means you should be on drugs. You see, there's a lot of different hormones. Thyroid is just one. You know, you have estrogen, progesterone, and testosterone. But you have other glands, your hypothalamus, your pineal gland, your hypothyroid, and your adrenals. We could keep going. And these all secrete different types of hormones and chemicals into your body. And you can come up with readings when you do lab work or blood work that make it look like you have something else. And you really just need to supply a part of your body with the nutrition that it needs or the activities to help it get stimulated. So that's what's important. You don't have to suffer these symptoms anytime. Really, really, you don't. Is there a solution to make menopause easy? Yes, absolutely. And I've just been talking about it. It's pre-investment in your health. It's keeping your eye on wellness. And I'm going to give you some tactics. We're going to call all of these tactics 101. But grab pen and paper, because I'm going to be giving you a number of slides here that are things you can start doing today at home. I want you to be able to start feeling better. So what are some of these things? Well, first, begin when you have your last child or you hit age 40. Now, if you have no children and you're having symptoms, begin now, right? Or let's say you're older. Begin now. It's that simple. And number one, watch for changes in your cycle. This could be going from a 28-day cycle to a 30-day cycle. That's a change. Or maybe the change in your flow or the color. All of those are changes that signify something is happening in your body. Be aware of your body. Get in tune with your body. This is tactic number one. Notice what's going on. This is a part of you. You're the only one who can check that stuff out, right? So check it out. This is about you and feeling good. Next, number two, watch for changes in your energy. Are you not feeling as rested? Are you having trouble sleeping? Do you just not have the energy you had before kids or a few years ago or even 6 months ago? And you're noticing this change in your energy, whether it's mental energy or physical energy. Write it down. Note that change. Make sure you're aware of that, because these are all signals, and only you really know that what's going on inside your body. And number three, watch for changes in your mood. A lot of times it's difficult for us to realize we have a change in our moods, and we have to incorporate or ask for help. So listen to your partner or your friend. They may notice that your mood has changed, that you're what a lot of people think is PMS, that you're more moody, that you're more easy to cry or more short-worded or tempered. It is not always because you have a house full of kids, that you're trying to juggle 18 different things, that you've got to go to work, you've got to fix lunches, you've got to pick up kids and take them to practice or a music teacher or something. It's not all that. It really isn't. Sometimes it's really about what's going on inside you, and that's okay. You have to take care of yourself. This is no longer the time of our mothers and grandmothers when, women just lived through this and suffered and gave of themselves without paying attention to how life was affecting them. You have permission, my permission, and your permission to take better care of yourself. And so how are we going to do that? I call these pre-investment tactics. And so number one of my pre-investment tactics is fitness. You have to walk. I just mentioned your mother and grandmother. Did you know that your mother and grandmother were more active than you, did more walking than you, and that your great-grandmother probably walked 80% or more than you do now, and maybe even your grandmother, depending on your age. So we do not move enough, and movement helps our body know we are still active and that we aren't shutting down and need to go into this phase called menopause. So it's important to get out and walk. I have this great patient that, well, she's a health coaching client, technically, not a patient here in the office. And as a health coaching client, I recommended walking for her. And she felt it was winter and it was too cold, so she started walking around the top floor of her building. Each time she went the complete circuit, it was 1/4 mile. So she started doing it 4 times a day to get a walk in of 1 mile. Other women have begun to join her. Isn't that kind of cool? Yeah, and for me, I started walking with my dog when she was a puppy. And she liked to run like puppies do, and I'd start doing these little tiny runs with her as we'd run from place to place that she was excited to smell. Pretty soon I realized I was wanting to run, so I started a run routine. I have clients who are cycling and using that as their routine. You can stay with walking. The point is, let yourself be inspired and do more. Next, number 2, eat less of these 3 food sources. Eat less of these 3 food sources. And they're dairy, grains, and sugar. Now, let's say you eat dairy, grains, and sugar every day, 7 days a week. Just pick one. Let's say dairy. And let's take it down from 7 days to 5 days, and then take it down to 3 or 4 days, and then maybe 2 days a week. And see how you feel. See how you sleep. See how your mood is doing. Next, start with grains and take it down to 5 days a week, and then maybe 3 days a week, or something like that. Then follow through with sugar. In other words, eat less of these 3 food sources or groups. And that's one way to invest in your health. Next, let's talk some more pre-investment tactics. So that was tactic 1 and tactic 2. This is tactic 3. Self-care is more important than a haircut. I bet you get your haircut professionally. I do. Most women do. In fact, we have our appointments usually regularly set up before we even leave the hair salon. I do. I'm booked out around certain holidays and things just so I can make sure my hair looks its best. Do you do that too? I bet you do. The other thing we often do as self-care is mani-pedis. Well, I want to talk to you about self-care being more than beauty care. It should be health and beauty, shouldn't it? These things are great for our mental self because they make us feel good and look good. But I want to talk to you about self-care that's an investment in your health. And I'm a true believer that you should invest in what is healthy and relaxing. Painless style acupuncture, especially when it's coupled with massage body work before and after, like what we do in my office, is the perfect combination to help you stave off many, many types of diseases. Pain helps you relax, and yeah, it helps you balance your hormones. It's something that they've used for thousands of years for all kinds of things, but people only think of it for a sore neck or sore back. It's about time to think of these 2 things for your health and relaxation, part of your self-care. Well, let's add something. You see that nice, great big turkey there, and so I'm going to talk about adding food. I want you to think about eating more greens. Recently, I rediscovered something I forgot all about: green smoothies. So I want to invite you to join me in celebrating green smoothies. The ones I've been making have either lettuce, kale, spinach, arugula, maybe a mixture, along with some fruit like bananas, pineapple. Those aren't the best, but put them in there. If a little bit will get you into the green smoothie. Add berries like blueberries, strawberries. Add a little bit of stevia. And of course, if you like, you can add either water, almond milk, hemp seed milk, any of those kind of non-dairy milks, or as I said, water. and then blend it in a Vitamix. That's what I do with some ice because I want it to be cold and frothy and smoothie tasting. Are you hungry yet? Well, yeah. So you want to be sure to enjoy some green smoothies. This gets you lots of vegetables, a little bit of fruit, because it should have mostly the greens. And then next, the thing I want you to add to your daily eating is meat. Hey, remember, this is primal health coaching. We are paleo in how we eat, but a lot of people eating paleo overeat meat. They don't understand it's about nutrient density, not about going crazy on animal protein. So I have some guidelines for you. I want you to eat meat, but not too much. About 3 to 6 ounces total a day. You could have a couple eggs with breakfast, and then 3 ounces of chicken salad for lunch with salad, or something that you enjoy eating, that's healthy for you. And we all have that unique body. You know what I'm talking about. And then for dinner, 3 ounces or a quarter pound ground beef, grass-fed, of course. And there's all kinds of things. My household, we're adding more fish, and I've got that there too. Eat fish more often, 2 to 3 times weekly. A lot of us forget about that type of protein and the health benefits of it. So what do we do? What does my husband and I do? What we do a 2, 2, and 2. 2 days of fish, 2 days of chicken, and 2 days of beef. Not in a row like that. But that's what we try to strive for, to keep it balanced. And that 7th day, well, we usually go out about once a week with friends. That's our opportunity when we go out to eat whatever we see on that menu that just calls to us. And I want to invite you to feel free to adopt these guidelines in your wellness and in your ability to feel better before you even hit menopause, to feel better now, to grab on to where you're at. And if you are closer to 50, closer to that menopause, perhaps you've already passed through it, these all work for you too. And I want to tell you, there's ways to get more information. I hope you reach out. If you're local and you're interested in seeing us as a client patient in office, please visit denveracupuncturehealth.com. If you'd like to become an online health coaching client, we have a few spots still available, and you can find out more about that through enhancedlivingtoday.com. If you just can't wait and you want to get scheduled for either health coaching or an in-office visit, you can call us at 720-515-4602. It's been a pleasure sharing this with you. But before you go, if you're local and you're coming in the office, remember your health insurance will cover 90% of most people's visits. We're in network with almost all insurance companies, including those particular policies that don't have acupuncture benefits. You probably have benefits with our office as we're a specialist practice. I hope you enjoyed this. I look forward to you joining me for another learning video. See you next time.